Hey everyone, my name's Solteki and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you haven't been here before. Now, I think this is the first time in about 6 months that I've opened Genshin. Like, you know, one of my friends has this absolutely insane account that he said I could review for a video, so I had to say yes. I mean, immediately, adventure rank 60, world level 9. We've got the new character, what you call Mavuika? I don't know how to pronounce the name, but yeah, we're in the new world, the new area. Yeah, I'm just very excited to go through this account. I think the first thing we're going to do before we start diving into the characters is just look at exploration. I mean, this new area is already 95% explored. Fontaine's 95, Sumeru 95, Inazuma 95. I'm not sure why everything's 95, because it seems like most of the exploration progress says 100%, but yeah, I mean, that is just insane. The amount of time this guy spent, like, actually collecting everything. One thing I am curious about is the Spiral Abyss. Okay, Abyssal Stars earned this round 36, so he can full star floor 12 chamber 3, which is pretty nuts. I want to look at the history, though, like, how often does he do that? Challenge summary, I believe, yeah. Okay, that's insane. 36, 36, 36, all the way down to March of 2024, right? And even then, he's getting like 30, 32 stars. But pretty much since... I mean, like... So pretty much for the last 10 months, he's been 36 star in every single Spiral Abyss challenge. That's pretty nuts. Strongest single strike is a Singcho with 100,000 damage. That must have been like a Vaporize or something, right? So yeah, absolutely maxed out Spiral Abyss. Let's look at some of the characters. Okay, that's a lot of level 90'd 5 stars. So let's just start off with Mavuika, because I'm, like, very interested in this character, with her being new. Insane crit rate to crit damage ratio. I think that's because you're using the Serpent Spine, right? Yeah, 27% extra crit rate. Level 90, amazing. I'm not sure what teams you're using, but 61 EM is a little bit low, depending on if you're doing, like, Vaporized comps or Melt, like, if you're doing elemental reactions. For her artifacts, I think Obsidian Codex is her best in slot, right? But the Scroll of Heroes Cinder City, I'm sure, is absolutely amazing. Or actually, I believe you use Obsidian Codex if someone else in the team already has Scroll, which, as we can see, if this is his, like, main team for Mavuika, no one else does. So this is actually the best in slot. I'm presumably using Mavuika as more of a sub DPS. I mean, I'm sure you are doing damage on field, but the scroll is pretty good for when you're using her as sub DPS. Absolutely insane flower. I mean, there isn't an unused stat there, but what's that, like 30 odd crit value with energy recharge and attack? I mean, that's a beautiful flower. The feather, again, every single one of them is used by Mavuika. That's an amazing timepiece. The amount of crit value there and a little bit of EM. You know, nothing went into the defense roll, so it's not bad. That's insane. With the goblet, again, nuts crit value. A bit unlucky with the other two flat rolls, but still absolutely insane. And then the circlet, we've got a crit damage with crit rate and attack percent. That's actually a pretty good circlet considering the crit value with energy recharge and attack percent. Yeah, that's a nuts build. Is C0? Yeah, what are the talents? Oh, the talents are pretty low. I mean, presumably he has just got her, so she's going to be even better once he level 90s and finishes all the talents off. We've got a Bennett with a max Fantastic Voyage, which is what I like to see. Miss Splitter, that's still his best in slot, right? If you want to get a little bit of damage off his ult, which I presume is what he's doing with the crit value. Obviously, 4-piece Noblesse. That's absolutely nuts. Oh, that is insane. Oh, Jesus, dude. I mean, I know Noblesse has been out since, like, what, 1.0, I think, since release, so it is easier to get amazing artifacts on these sets for how long they've been out. That circlet could do with a little bit of, like, different stats, but still, like, a pretty nuts piece considering it's crit damage with a crit rate and ER. I mean, that's a pretty perfect Bennett, right? Especially with the... You got him C5? C6. I like a C6. I'm one of them guys that recommends a C6 if you're playing him in a team with, like, a pyro DPS like Mavuika. Let's have a look at Zhongli. Blacklift Pole. So you want to be doing a little bit of damage on the ult, right? You got a good crit rate. That's beautiful. 40k HP, that's what I always recommend as well. Getting 40k HP with an attack-based, like, polearm is pretty nuts. So I presume there's a lot of HP from these. I mean, he is using 4-piece Millilith, which makes sense. C1 as well, beautiful. Great constellation. He's just messaged me there. I'm not a Genshin whale. I've just got really lucky with pulls. I have spent some money, but it's mostly Welcome and Battle Pass and a couple top-ups. I mean, that's fine. That's kind of what I expected. I'm not free to play. I get the Battle Pass and the Welcome. I think that's a nice way to play. It's not an insane amount of money, but it does help a lot. And like we thought, level 10 planet before level 9 of the E, the Dominus Lapidus. Yeah, being able to balance the 40k HP and have good crit rate, crit damage is beautiful. Because he's going to be an absolute shield bot and doing like, like 40, 60k damage on the crit ult. That's nuts. Insane value. I mean, he uses everything on there. Crit rate, crit damage with ER, beautiful. Crit damage on a HP sans with a HP substat and energy recharge. That's an amazing sans. That is a pretty perfect goblet, honestly. HP percent with a HP roll and both crit values. That's amazing. Wow, that's a good circlet. You got crit rate and crit damage and both of your HP values with energy recharge. I mean, you cannot really ask for a better circlet than that. That's one of the better Zhonglis I've ever saw. Now on to Clorinde. I don't know how to pronounce the name. I'm so bad at pronunciations, it's actually dreadful. I'm going to call her Clorinde. It might be Clorinde. I don't know. But Clorinde, we've got a C0. What the town's looking like, 9, 9, and 4. That's pretty good. Artifacts, using the Fragment of Harmonic Whimsy, which is her best in slot. Thunder and Fury is also like a great option, but Harmonic Whimsy is the best. Not the best flower, honestly. She does benefit from better elemental mastery, but it's just a lot of defense on a character that doesn't use defense. That flower's a little bit better, good crit value and a lot of elemental mastery, which she does use. That's an amazing sans. Crit rate and crit damage with EM and attack. That's pretty good too. Good crit value and a little bit of attack, unlike with a HP roll, but you know, at least it didn't go into the flat stats very much. And that is an absolutely beautiful circlet. Crit damage with a huge chunk of crit rate, energy recharge, and attack. It's still a very well-built Clorinde, except for the flower, which still isn't a bad flower, you know. 30% crit damage isn't anything to laugh at. And using the Wolf Fang as the sword, which is where she's getting most of her crit rate from. We've got 86% crit rate and 185 crit damage. 91 EM is a little bit low if you're using her in like an aggravate team. I don't know what this guy, like what team he is using her in, so presumably maybe not an aggravate team. Now Neuvillette's one of my favorite characters that I am interested in seeing what he is. Around 40k HP, which is really good. Let's see the crit value though. 55, 321. 55 is pretty low, so you've got to be using the Marchaus Hunter, which is he is. So that's perfectly good crit rate. 321 crit damage is beautiful. You're probably using the Tome of Eternal Flow, which he is. So, I mean, Neuvillette's one of the easiest characters in the game to build. Even if you don't know how to build Neuvillette, if you get the Marchaus Hunter... sorry, I just spelled myself that he's got a C2. If you get the Marchaus Hunter set with his Catalyst, he's broken. All you have to do is stack a bit of HP on it and he'll kill everyone in the game. But it does look like he also has a very good build on top of that. 10, 8, 8, that's amazing. That's what I would say. You don't really need these any higher than level 8. Even level 6, to be honest, most of his, well, pretty much all of his damage comes off of his normal attack. We do have C2, which is beautiful. C2 is an absolutely massive upgrade. It just increases his damage up to 42%, which is nuts. So yeah, I don't really have to talk too much about it. He's got perfect crit rate, crit damage, a little bit of energy recharge, and a whole bunch of HP. He absolutely slaps. I'll probably try him later. Now, Chasca can build as a Codex DPS or an Animo Swirl DPS. So, looking at the 138 at EM, I'm presuming that it's the Codex. So, you should be using the Obsidian Codex set, which you are. Beautiful. Now, her crit rate, I believe, does increase by 40%. So, having 66 crit rate anyway is amazing. A little bit low on the crit damage, considering you will be getting the 4-piece buff quite often. Skyward Harp honestly isn't the best option for her. It is an absolutely beautiful bow. Level 90s as well offers like really good base attack, really good crit rate, and the sub stat with the crit damage is amazing. The 20% crit damage. Apart from her best in slot, Aqua Simulacra is the best second option. So I don't know how much you play Yelan, but if you're not using Yelan and Chasca at the same time, then maybe think about switching them too. I mean, the normal attack has got the lowest priority, with the elemental skill and burst being first and second. I'm guessing you don't really use Chasca too much if they're only 8 and 7. Obviously, 8 is still a very good point to stop. You can't get it higher than that unless you wanted to 90 Chasca, which I don't think you do if you don't use it too much. So that's fine. C0, let's look at some of these artifacts. That's a pretty perfect flower, honestly. I mean, even if you're not using her as a swirl DPS, it's still amazing to have EM because you will still be activating some swirls. So crit damage attack percent with EM is a pretty perfect flower. Again, absolutely amazing. You got your crit and attack percent and EM. Really good feather. Now for the Sands, attack percent obviously best and very lucky with the crit rolls. A little bit unlucky with the defense that you got, but a nice chunk of EM too, not bad. Very good artifact. For the Goblet, we got attack percent with the crit damage values, lovely. Like unlucky with the defense percent, but what are you gonna do? Still a really good Goblet. For the Circlet, we got crit damage, which is what I would recommend. Not the best substats, like good with the attack percent and crit rate, but if she doesn't use defense and HP, you would love to see a little bit more rolls going into the crit rate and attack percent, because it looks like you got some in the flat HP, which is unlucky. But I mean, looking at the overall stats, it's a very good Chasca. I'm sure if you got her to 90 and wanted to main her, like, you could... It has the potential to be an absolutely insane Chasca, especially with the Aqua Simulacra there, level 90s. I mean, looking at that, anyway, we'll go to Yelan. How much HP? We've got 30k, it's a nice bit. Obviously, Aqua Simulacra is her best in slot. We'll go to details. 7269 is a very nice crit ratio. Obviously, using the Emblem of Severed Fate. How much energy recharge do we have? 155. That's pretty decent. You get a good, nice bonus out of the 4-piece. She is C0, sorry, with 10 talents. Absolutely lovely. Let's have a look at the artifacts, though. We're kind of just looking for crit and then HP and energy recharge. So this is an absolutely broken flower. Like that crit ratio, the crit value from this flower is nuts with the 10% energy, 9% energy recharge. Sorry, that is like pretty perfect. This plume as well, HP in both the crit values. Like unlucky with a little bit of defense, but you're not gonna chuck away that plume for the little bit of defense. That's beautiful. Oh my god, HP Sands with ER, crit and, crit rate and crit damage. God. Okay, this is like one of the best Yelans I've ever saw in my life. Hydro damage bonus with both crit values, HP percent and attack percent. I mean, unlucky that some of the rolls went into attack percent, otherwise that would be a pretty perfect Goblet. I mean, obviously you could have got energy recharge instead of attack percent, but like... Even with the bad rolls, that's still a very good Goblet. And then a crit damage circlet with 10% crit rate, 15% energy recharge, and some flat HP. I mean, that is beautiful, right? That is a busted Yelan. Okay, what I am interested in is using some of these characters in fights. A pretty good one to do is the... Where is he? The samurai up here, because I think he has a little bit more HP, right? Or at least, like, it's better for a damage check. I really want to try the Yelan. Okay, let's ult with Bennett. I'm gonna ult with Mavuika, which did 64k damage, which is pretty nuts. Now let's switch to Yelan and pop the ult. He needs to hurry up and get his thing back. Okay, so it's like 10k of Vaporize with her, 10k a pop with Yelan. That was 14k Vaporize, 14k again. And I was getting like 14k from the just basic attacks from Yelan there too. And that just shreds. That's with Mavuika at level 82. We're probably looking at like 20k of Vaporize when she's off field. Which is nuts for a character that's not even on the field. Whoa, 50k Vaporize from Yelan there. That was nuts. Now, I do feel bad because I didn't even like look at some of the other characters like Nahida, Mualani, Furina, but it would have just took like... I didn't want the video to be 45 minutes long. So I'm sure they are broken too. I mean, we're going to have a quick look just at the stats, like... 82, 180 with 546 EM. That's absolutely insane. Furina, 8200. 160 energy recharge is absolutely beautiful. And Mualani was 6250. She gets a bit of crit from her, from the Obsidian Codex bonus. That is also, like, absolutely amazing. 24, 26, 28, 32. 32k. I'm not even gonna, like, do anything. Let's just use Neuvillette. I think I can solo him not using any other characters but Neuvillette. Okay, well, not if he dies, but, you know. Literally just Neuvillette. Oh my god, I mean, 30k a pop. Without any support or anything is absolutely insane, dude. Alright, he is dead. But, like, he wouldn't be dead if I was using, like, an actual rotation. That is insane. 30k damage. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, he 36 stars every single abyss that's came out in the last year. Max world level, max adventure rank. One of the best Neuvillettes I've ever saw in my life, and one of the best Yelan builds I've ever saw in my life. I mean, this is just a cracked account, especially he actually plays the game too. He doesn't just like wail and summon or anything. He's pretty low spending, but just everything is like nearly maxed exploration. Like, he does genuinely play the game, which is awesome. But yeah, thank you again, Kagura, for letting me like look at the account. If he wants me to plug anything of his, it will be in the description, so go check him out. And I hope you enjoyed the video. So have a good day. See ya.